pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode, podcast, talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Big shout out to the people that are currently in the chat right now. We got Silver Wolf, we got Chris F in the chat. What's up, y'all? Appreciate y'all for joining in. If you can do me a huge favor, smack up the like button on your way in. We got some Jonathan Gannon updates today, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, it has to do with our first round pick in Darius Robinson. A lot to dive into today, but first things first, let me give you a huge shout out here to the sponsors of the video. That's going to be none other than BetUS. If you're looking for a brand new sportsbook, BetUS is the way to go. Currently, right now, they do have a promo code that you can use upon signing up, YouTube 150. That will provide you 150% sign up bonus on your first deposit, and the following two will be 125% sign up bonus. And that is going to be up to $2,000 upon signing up using promo code YouTube150. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go and get started here. A lot to dive into today. Now, I want to go and actually just let you guys know real quick. We're going to try to make this a thing, ladies and gentlemen. 12 noon live stream here on the Arizona Sports Fan. Regardless if it's a 20-minute show, 30-minute show, an hour show, we're going to try to go live here from here on out. So go ahead and mark your calendars. Make sure you have your post notification bell on, just because we are obviously going to be talking about any updates from the Cardinals, where we are. And yeah, we're going to try to be doing that for the remaining of the season. I know I asked you guys in a community post, and a lot of people said, we don't know. We don't know when the live streams are. So, okay. 12 noon is going to be a live stream, at least Monday through Friday, moving forward. So, appreciate y'all. Let's go and get started here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and talk about the
Okay, a couple updates for you guys. Trey is finishing concussion protocol. He'll be out there today. KT, Mr. Tonga, he'll be out there today. Christian Jones, he will be out there today. Elijah and D-Rob will not. Okay, a couple updates for you guys. Trey is finishing concussion protocol. He'll be out there today. KT, Mr. Tonga, he'll be out there today. Christian Jones, he will be out there today. Elijah and D-Rob will not.
Okay. All right. Was I muted the whole time? I don't think I was muted the whole time, but I know I was muted for a little bit there. So I apologize about that. Okay, so we're back. Okay, so a few different things to obviously dive into. Updates, injuries, right? The Cardinals have gone through the ringer when it comes down to injuries. Now, we're not the only ones, right? The 49ers gone through it. The Rams gone through it. Heck, every NFL team has gone through injuries here for their team. A couple big things to obviously dive into. Darius Robinson, and he said Elijah. I know people are confused. They're like, Elijah Higgins? No, I don't think he's talking about Elijah Higgins. He's talking about Elijah Jones. It's unfortunate. It really is. Now, obviously, we want to make sure that when Darius Robinson does come back, he's fully, really healthy to go, right? The thing is that the media did kind of re-ask again pertaining to when is he going to be available, right? What's the trend look like? And of course, Jonathan Gannon consistently says hypotheticals. Like, I don't really know exactly. I know he doesn't really want to get down to it. I don't know if it's because he doesn't want to give too much information. I don't know if he doesn't know the information. I don't know if he just doesn't want to leak the information. I don't know what it is, right? But this is the second time we've heard the word hypotheticals come out of the mouth of Jonathan Gannon whenever they're talking about D-Robin potentially coming back, right? So Darius Robinson, now I want to be very clear, even if he was in practice today, that doesn't mean he was going to be a go, right? That does not mean he's going to be a go in week 5. What it means is that if he opens up the practice window in the 21-day window, they have 21 days to elevate him, right? 21 days to elevate him. That's what that means. But the Arizona Cardinals are not practicing Darius Robinson, which is a bummer. is a bummer. I don't think I was expecting to see Darius Robinson personally in week 5 versus the San Francisco 49ers, but I was hoping, fingers crossed, trending in the right direction, maybe week 6, heck, maybe even week 7. I know with the calf injury, you really got to treat it very, very, you know, cautiously, right? Because you don't want to make a calf injury a lot bigger than he already had. So, and I understand that too, right? I'm not saying force the guy into it, right? I know there's a lot of hype around Darius Robinson. I know we need a lot of help in the defensive line, right? I know a lot of things are coming to a lot of Cardinals fans' minds as to when is this guy going to play. That's a good question. I don't like the answer of hypotheticals, but he also did say, you know, it's trending in the right direction, right? But I feel like we did hear that not too long ago. So we are kind of in a very, very unfortunate, I guess I could say, circumstance here as Cardinal fans. We would love to see Darius Robinson sooner rather than later, but I think we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer. Now, there is also Elijah Jones that was mentioned as well. He was a rookie this year that we ended up drafting. It was definitely a late round pick. I don't remember the exact. I believe it was a 5th or maybe even a 6th round pick for the Cardinals in Elijah Jones. He is not going to practice as well. So it's not just Darius Robinson. But, right, we did hear Trey McBride. We did hear some updates about other people that are on there as well. So very, very unfortunate, but what are your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen? Let me know in the chat here below and how you feel about Darius Robinson not opening up the practice window today. Not so much that is he available or not, but just, I guess, open up the practice window, right? And now while you do that, let's get into the other updates that we have here, right? I think the media is doing a very good job, and I think it's very specific media members, to be honest with you. I don't know who they are, but shout out to you guys with these very specific questions because, honestly, I think at the end of the day, we do need to ask these very specific questions to these head coaches, the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, right? Because although the Cardinals have been in contention of 3 out of the 4 games in the 2024 season, eventually the whole moral victory gets thrown out the window, right? People stop caring. People stop caring about, moral victory this, moral victory that. But people start caring about just wins, right? When are the wins going to be established? So I think that these next 2 questions that I'm going to be bringing up, and obviously we're going to be dissecting them after the clips or after the audio. Shout out to the people who asked this. Shout out to them. Now, the first question here was asked about Kyler Murray's play. I don't know if you guys took the time to rewatch the All 22 film or just rewatch the game in general. I did take the time yesterday to rewatch it, and I'm not going to lie to you, ladies and gentlemen, there was a lot of questionable things that was done on the offensive side of the ball. I said this on X and Twitter, and I'll say it again. This offense on week 4 looked very, very clunky, right? Whether you say it's because of Kyler, whether you say it's because of pass protection, whether you say it's, the play calling, whatever it is, it needs to be fixed. I don't care who's at fault. I don't care what finger's pointing at what, but they need to fix it here at the end of the day. So we got a media member ended up asking about Kyler Murray's play specifically, and I think I know what he's talking about, but let's dive into exactly how Jonathan Gannon ended up responding to, his thoughts on Kyler Murray's play.
Protection doesn't hold up. There are people who say, well, Kyler should have gotten the ball out faster. Both you and Drew have said, well, no, we want him to be patient. We want him to go through his read stuff. Why is that your philosophy there? And you've said kind of trust the offensive line. Well, why is that your belief?
I don't know. My belief is do what you're coached to do, and then when you have to make plays, make plays. That's what I would say too.
So real quick, I don't know if you guys watched the video from yesterday. We ended up posting a video here about basically kind of reacting to Drew Petzing's press conference, and really, I like the details. And here's the thing: like none of these guys need to answer in details, right? None of them need to answer in details. And at the end of the day, I think that it's very, very important to know that obviously if the Cardinals are turning in the right direction, nobody would be worrying about this, right? Nobody would be worrying about what is going on, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on with the offense, right? What is going on with Kyler Murray? This is just kind of another instance where we're not really getting the answer that we're hoping that we're getting, right? Because the media ends up asking, right? Because he's getting very specific, right? You guys said you want Kyler to do this, but when we're looking at the film, Kyler Murray is playing patient, right? But he's getting sacked, right? He's getting sacked. So like I said before, right? I'm not coming out here and putting the blame on a specific, offensive line. I'm not putting the blame on Kyler. I'm not putting the blame on, the offensive coordinator, the play calls, whatever. It's all as a whole. Everybody gets a fair shot. Everybody gets a slice of humble pie and saying, hey, whatever you guys need to do, you need to fix it, right? So very specifically, we were asked, you said this, but Kyler Murray played like this. What are your thoughts on that? Let's go ahead and run it back one more time.
Protection doesn't hold up. There are people who say, well, Kyler should have gotten the ball out faster. Both you and Drew have said, well, no, we want him to be patient. We want him to go through his read stuff. Why is that your philosophy there? And you've said kind of trust the offensive line. Well, why is that your belief?
I know my belief is do what you're coached to do, and then when you have to make plays, make plays. That's what I would say, Teo.
So answers the question of what the beliefs are, right? But doesn't answer the question of what you said about Kyler, trying to obviously being patient and coach what you're supposed to do, right? So I don't know. I feel like there's like this underlining thing here from this coaching staff that just loves to kind of talk in circles and doesn't really give the answer that most likely these media guys are really looking for. And the big question out there is that, yes, I mean, when you're looking at the tape, we did hear Jonathan Gannon come out, I believe it was on Monday, saying that this was the best game that Marvin Harrison Jr. had, right? And that means like being able to cause separation, right? Getting off the point of attack, right? Just how he runs his routes in general. JG as well as Drew Petzing said the same thing. This is one of the best games we've seen Marvin Harrison Jr. play. Then, like, you can't say that, but then follow the thing of, then you follow the whole thing of, yeah, well, we didn't do ABC, right? Why wasn't Marvin Harrison Jr. involved, right? So it kind of goes back full circle. I watched the film again. I watched it back. There has been at least 3 or 4 plays where the play or the drive could have got extended by whether it was Kyler Murray or a play call or anything like that. But one of my biggest questions is, and I hope this was asked already, maybe somebody already asked it and I just didn't catch it, was does Kyler Murray have the ability to change plays under center, right? Does he have the ability to audible out of specific plays looking at the specific defense that he has coming for him? Does he, right? And if that's the case, and if he does have the ability to get out of a pass play when it's 4th and 1, 3rd and 2, right? If he does, then we kind of know to ask the question of why didn't Kyler Murray do that, right? What are we not coaching Kyler Murray to do to get out of that specific play? Because there's been 2 instances in this game alone, and this is not the only instance where we've seen Kyler Murray chuck the ball either deep or preferably go for a pass play as opposed to just run the ball down their throats. Now, obviously, this year, the forte of the Arizona Cardinals is we're a good running team, right? It's all led by James Conner, right? A lot of questions still being asked to ourselves right now as to what is going on, right? And why is it taking this long? But why is it taking this long? Like, seriously, why is it taking this long for the Cardinals to pay attention to these details, right? And I'm talking about the players that are in this locker room right now. Can somebody ask that? Why is it taking this long, right? Because, yes, you can use the excuse of, oh, this is year 2, right? But, I mean, you brought these players in for a specific reason, right? We brought high character value players because they know football, because they want to win, and we're still struggling with this on the offensive side of the ball. The offensive side of the ball was supposed to be the bright spot, ladies and gentlemen, the bright spot of the Arizona Cardinals in the 2024 season, and we're still struggling. We're still struggling day in and day out to maintain a drive in the second half, right? Now, I'm not expecting them to say, well, Kyler Murray missed this and that. Okay, you're right. But we do expect for the back part of things to get it resolved, right? To get it resolved. And right now it's not being resolved. It's the same things over and over again. Now, do I look a little panicky? A little bit. Because guess what? We got 2 potential playoff teams back to back, right? It all sounds good and gravy. And I'm not sitting here saying Jonathan Gannon should get fired. No, I'm not saying that. But kind of leaking into what we were talking about yesterday, eventually these little ways of answering is not going to cut it, right? Oh, we need to pay attention to the details. We need to do this. We need to do ABC, right? Because let's dive into this next clip here where the media ends up asking them, okay, details, right? We are very focused on the details. Why the struggle still in week 4. And because this is the second year of Jonathan Gannon, let's be clear, right? Obviously different players, but this is still the second year at the end of the day, right? So let's dive into what Jonathan Gannon had to say about that.
You've talked a lot about those details and just all across the board how you want to see the small things improve. At 4 weeks, where are you where you want to be in terms of the details, or should they be better at this point?
Well, I think every week presents a different challenge, you know what I mean? But I would say that where we are right now, I would say no, we haven't. You know what I mean? It starts with me and the coaches. So that's always an area of emphasis, and you don't know how the game's going to materialize, but I think we need to do a better job of that.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan Gannon. You gave me a straight up answer. Do you think that you are going, or you're paying attention to the details, right? Because that's something that you guys preach. This coaching staff is all about the details. It's all about this, and that. And I appreciate it. You gave us an honest answer. Do you feel like the Arizona Cardinals are paying attention to the details right now? He said no. We're not. Okay. But so the following up question is, okay, so when is this going to happen, right? What's the plan to get this fixed, right? Because obviously practice our practice. And I'm continuing to see the same things over and over again here, right? In the X and Twitter world where practices are happening, but like, are we really getting ready for the 49ers that has Super Bowl aspirations, ladies and gentlemen? Like, if the Cardinals come out here and stand toe-to-toe with them, but lose, I won't be happy, but I also won't want to throw myself off my house, right? If the Cardinals get demolished in San Francisco, yeah, probably want to throw myself off the house because we cannot regress. The Cardinals have regressed in week 4 versus the Commanders. Now, we do got to give credit to where credit's due. Is it because the Commanders are a lot better team than we all thought they were, right? We were calling it our get-right game. Boy, we were their get-right game. Let's make it clear. We were their get-right game. And here's the funny thing, ladies and gentlemen. The Washington Commanders were ranked one of the lowest defenses. The lowest defenses in the NFL heading into week 4. One of the lowest. And the Arizona Cardinals offense couldn't do anything but score in the first drive like they usually do and scored probably a gimme touchdown in the late part of, I believe it was the third quarter. If not the third quarter, then the fourth quarter. So what are we doing to get the details that you're preaching over and over again established, right? That's what I want to start hearing from these media people out here that got the insight, that get able to ask these questions. Ask the hard questions. Let's not ask about how your weekend is. This is football, ladies and this is an organization that's worth billions of dollars that needs to start winning games. They should start winning games. These two questions that I had here, short of the updates that Gannon gave in the first 5 seconds, was probably the only ones to really talk about, to be honest with you, right? Because when you're looking at these press conferences here from, obviously, shout out to the YouTube Arizona Cardinals YouTube page. That's where these clips come from. Shout out to them for obviously providing us the inside, right? Inside information that they say presser, right? Thanks for doing that. But honestly, are we really getting very much? Because Jonathan Gannon speaks in circles. Jonathan Gannon doesn't say very much, right? And that's the thing. I want to be very clear. You can continue to do what you're doing and talk in riddles and talk and don't answer questions, right? Say things like hypotheticals. If we're winning, nobody would question you. But guess what? Guess what? In the tenure of you being the Arizona Cardinals head coach, you are 5 wins in. You're 5 wins in. We got 13 games left. Do I feel confident that the Cardinals can turn this season around? All I can say is yes, right? All I can say is with a hope, wish, and a prayer that the Arizona Cardinals are going to be able to get this correct. It's the only thing I can say. Yes, I hope they can, right? It doesn't help. It doesn't help that the fact that the Arizona Cardinals have the 49ers and then shortly after them, the Green Bay Packers, right? Because right now at 1-3, it sounds sweet. It sounds cool, right? Details. Okay, but when are these details going to get into play, right? Because it almost kind of feels like we're I don't know. I get last year was a wash year. But we need to be able to see improvement. We cannot have another game like that Washington Commanders game. I don't know what the game plan was. The game plan was probably run the ball. And it was it was effective. It was for the Cardinals. It was very effective. James Conner was very good. But one thing that we found out is that Kyler Murray needs to be a little bit of a Superman, right? And I'm not saying full-blown Superman, but a little bit of a Superman to have this offense do something, right? Because it almost kind of felt like the Cardinals' game plan was like, stay in the pocket. They don't have a good rushing attack. And guess what? They rushed us, right? Guess what? They pressured Kyler Murray to no return and forced us to have those 3-and-outs. So I get it. Game plans are very important. I get it. The effectiveness of trying to evolve, trying to change week in and week out, right? That's the forte of what Jonathan Gannon, Drew Petzing, and Nick Rallis is offering the Arizona Cardinals organization. I get that. But you got a tough task ahead of you this week. A tough task ahead of you. And that's the San Francisco 49ers. Guess what? They're going to try to run the ball down your throats because you are averaging, over 120 yards? Well over 120 yards a game, right? They're going to try to run the ball. Now, I don't see Brock Purdy as a mobile quarterback, but he can get out of the pocket. I'm not saying he's slow. I'm not saying he's going to sit back there like a statue. No, I think he's got some wheels on him. I just don't deem him as a mobile quarterback. But almost similar to Jared Goff, where the dagger in the heart, all he needed to do was loop around our defense and got the first down, and the rest was history. He's capable of doing that. So, game plan, right? I don't expect Jonathan Gannon to say, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I don't expect that, right? That is your guys' information. That's you guys are privy to that. You guys are going to be the ones getting the game plan together here for 49ers, right? Heading into San Francisco. But you cannot do what happened last week. You cannot. I will not accept another beatdown. I really wouldn't, right? Because the NFL is week to week. We've talked about this a lot on this channel. It's week to week. We know that we fought very, very tough versus the Bills. There was some hope for Cardinal fans. There was a slight sliver of hope. Everybody was like, okay, I can see where they're going, right? Week 2, amazing. One of the best games we've seen from Kyler Murray. One of the best games we've seen from Kyler Murray. Week 3, okay. We held our own. Defense kind of, hold some things here and there. Week 4 was a disaster. Learn from it, wash it away, throw it away. Don't want to see that ever again. Because we're year 2, ladies and gentlemen. And for people to use the excuse out there, the Commanders have pieces out there. The Commanders did nothing all year until they faced the Arizona Cardinals defensively. I was told left and right all week that Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen did nothing. They have yet to do anything all year, except for, guess what? On the Arizona Cardinals. And like I said, you can blame whoever you want. Whatever makes you sleep better at night. If you want to blame Kyler, okay. If you want to blame the offensive line, okay. If you want to blame Drew Petzing and his play calls, okay, that's fine. I don't care who's at fault. I just needed to get fixed. Bottom line. Just needed to get fixed. Agent 47 in the chat says Fred Warner and Nick Bosa will stop our run game. So will Petzing make a call pass game, then we are screwed. It doesn't seem like Cardinal fans are confident in what Drew Petzing can do, and I don't blame him. I don't blame. I mean, what we've seen so far, right, in this 4-game sample size, when our offense was supposed to be the bright spot, because let's call it like it is, our offense was supposed to be the bright spot, ladies and gentlemen, not the defense. It was supposed to be the offense. We haven't really shown the consistency that we would love to see from a said Drew Petzing, right? And like I said, I want to be very clear. This is not a fire this guy. This is fire that. I'm not saying that. No. We have 13 games left, ladies and gentlemen. We were only we got going into week 5. I want to be very clear. There has been teams that started off 1-3, 1-4, and made some sort of a push, right? Am I saying the Cardinals are going to do that? I'm not saying that. I'm not putting expectations on this organization unless they show me some consistency. But it's possible, right? That's all I'm saying. Even if you want to hold on to a sliver of slight little hope, there is a little hope out there that the Cardinals can turn this around. And guess what? A win in Santa Clara will do that, right? In San Francisco will do that. Because you're 2-3, and we're going to Lambeau. So going back and circling back to obviously the updates and what Jonathan Gannon provided us today, I don't know. I'm content right now, right? Because we're 1-3. I'm content right now. But you better bet your bottom dollar, ladies and gentlemen, if the Cardinals continue to lose, it's not going to be a very, very happy AZ/Mike/Arizona sports fan, whatever you want to call me. Guy with backwards hat. I don't care. Guy with talking to my, I don't care. I just won't be happy, right? This is an opportunity. Moral victory is out the window, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying here I'm expecting a win. No. But you got to start trending into what you were doing in week 2 and week 3, right? Week 4, learn it, wash it away, and let's see what we can do from there. Because these answers that we're getting from this coaching staff, I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with it. Maybe I'm the type of fan that looks a little too much deep into things. That might be the case, right? Some people can take what somebody says and take it by, face value and say, okay, he knows. Cool. But guess what? I'm hearing the same things over and over again, week in and week out. Week in and week out. I'm hearing the same things over and over again and nothing's changing, right? Paying attention to the details. Well, guess what? If the details aren't being accomplished, what are you doing to change those players not getting down to your details and doing the things that you're coaching them to do? Are you switching them out? Are you doing something else? Are you bringing somebody else up? Are you elevating? Are you bringing other people out from the outside organization? Are you elevating people for the practice squad? What are you doing to change that? Or are we just continuing to coach and hopefully these players get it right? Like they have the aha moment. Is that what we're waiting for? The aha moment? Because let me tell you right now, Sean Murphy-Bunting should not be the starting quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals. He should not. I get why they're playing him. He's a veteran. I get it. But with what we've already seen in crucial moments, Sean Murphy-Bunting has not looked great. And I'm not going to sit here and say Max Melton is going to outperform him. But at this point, if this is the route you're willing to take, if you're taking the young movement, because you can't half ASS this. You can't. Kyler Murray says one thing. I won't put a limit on this offense. Sky's the limit for this offense, right? Bet the over on the 6.5, Kyler Murray said. And then you have this front office settling for mediocre moves. I'm sorry. Bilal Nichols has not really done anything. Justin Jones has not really done anything. Sean Murphy-Bunting, I want to switch him out. I want to bench him already. Mac Wilson Sr., the only guy that I like that we added in this free agency class. The only one I like. Monty Ossenfort, I have preached and I've got on the train of let Monty cook, right? You heard it all last week. It was to the point where I even annoyed myself saying let Monty cook as well. But at one point, you got to take that pan off the frying pan and stop burning your eggs. You got to do something. You got to actually cook and actually put a winning product on the field. Because guess what? There's winning organizations that do it. Guess what? There's winning organizations that are never in our situation because they know how to build a team. And for the people that want to use the excuse of, oh, we are building this team down from the roster, down to the studs. Well, guess what? It was the Cardinals' decision to do that, right? It was the Cardinals' decision to release DeAndre Hopkins. It was the Cardinals' decision to trade away Justin Simmons for a 7th-round pick. I get it. That wasn't their regime. Those wasn't their picks. But at the end of the day, it's the Arizona Cardinals' choice to do those moves. So, okay, you're building, right? You're building. Okay, well, what's the plan? Are we just going to sit on our hands? Because guess what? We're year 2 right now. Year 2 of Monty Ossenfort and Jonathan Gannon. Guess what? Let's say, for example, we're living in a world of ifs, right? Let's say, for example, this season goes sideways. What happens with Kyler Murray, right? Another question to be answered. Then we're starting back over again. Why not, instead of taking this approach, because we already had a terrible season last year, why not trying to win? Crazy idea, right? Oh, what? Somebody's going to try to win? Why not? Give Kyler a defense that can compete. But no, we did the opposite, ladies and gentlemen. We did the opposite. We were like, we're going to underfund this defense, ladies and gentlemen, and let Kyler do what he needs to do. Well, guess what? You're right. He doesn't need to play Superman in this offense, quote unquote. He doesn't need to play, but he still needs to play defense, or he still needs to play, Superman because this defense can't stop a lick. Now, the defense has shown up little flashes here and there, but the tape is out. They know that if they do what the Washington Commanders did against the Arizona Cardinals, there's no hope. There's no hope. Next year, we do have a lot of money. That's the truth. That's one thing that I would say. But here's the thing. Okay, we have a lot of money. Let's live in that world. Let's say the Cardinals win 4 games, 5 games. Let's go for the win. Let's say they win 6 games. Is that enough for you to say bring Kyler Murray back? Honestly, ask yourself. And that puts them what? 8th? 10th? Are we now talking about a completely different story? That's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to avoid, okay, well, now we have this other question. Unless they're that bought in on Kyler Murray that he can't do no wrong this year, which I doubt. But is that the game plan? There's just so many questions back and forth here, ladies and gentlemen. So many questions. So many questions about what the Arizona Cardinals can potentially do that we're not sitting here saying spend. But, I mean, you got to do something. If this doesn't strike up the conversation of Kyler Murray or late in the year, then, okay, we'll see what happens. But I don't know. I'm already starting to hear the chatter, ladies and gentlemen. I'm already starting to hear the chatter. Let's get to a couple comments. We're actually going to have a small abbreviated show. Just FYI, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to be doing this every day, Monday through Friday, 12 noon. So make sure you have your post notification bell on. Let's get to my guy, Manana, in the chat. He says, the only reason why I watch the Arizona is because it's my home state. I honestly believe I'm going to jump ship and get back on the Baltimore Ravens since that wasn't the first team I saw. All right, do your thing, brother. 23K says Jalen Thompson is terrible. I love him, but he's not good. What? I don't know. I don't think he's terrible. Okay. We also got Silver Wolf saying everyone needs to relax. We're winning against the 49ers. Okay. Love the positivity, Silver. Love the positivity there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what happens in week 6 for the Arizona Cardinals. Like I mentioned before, I am not impressed with how Jonathan Gannon is obviously answering these questions. We got some updates from Darius Robinson, but as of right now, nothing to get too excited about. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be closing up shop. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow at 12 noon. All right, y'all. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cardinals.